I'm Elayyoub again. I'm gonna introduce for you guys the external existed API that we're gonna depend on our platform, get free API management, to connect it with the external API and get the results through our platform or our management system. Not going directly to the API, and we're gonna depend on the test request.in. It's like existence API that we just need the response to see if we can get the response through the existing API. To start with that, we're gonna start register, new account, Sam Elayyoub, Gmail. Now we're gonna register a new account. And this one exists, let's try something. This is just for demo purposes. Now we got to the dashboard that we have on Get Free API Management System, and we have nothing, as you can see. We're going to start with the existence API, which is what we're going to do. We're going to get the results from this request.in through the API, Get Free API URL and link. That's what we're going to use. So let's start with external API, our existence, and we're going to say like response API demo. This is the demo. This is the URL that we're going to start with. So this is what Get Free API giving us demo. So if we want to access this API through our management system, we're going to access through this API path. Example like this. And let's see where is the external API link. The external API link is this one. Let's try it without page 2, how it's going to be. It's safe, better, and it's easier to memorize. So let's say this is the API that we're going to access. This API doesn't have any token access authorization. There's no basic auth. There's nothing you need to access it. It's just a JSON, regular JSON that's going to give you a response after the API call. So we're going to create the API proxy. Our API proxy, this is direction, this is the path, and here where we're going to access it. Now, to get the response for it, first we need to create an app, or because we don't want to use our general or like the main token, so we're gonna create an app, and this app we're gonna create it demo. After we click on my apps, we create a new one. We say demo, and this is for demo get free API. And again, this is for external or existence API as an app. We need to copy this because we're going to use it as a token for later. And let's go back to the proxies. In our proxies, we just view what we had as API request. So this is the API request for external API. All what we need to do is to add the demo as able to access it. And the new features that I just included for the API apps and services is going to show you the full control of each app, if they're allowed to get, to post, to do any method through the API management. You don't have to access it through others. And this is all by the app's access content or permissions. So let's say like right now, we don't want to allow demo app to get from the external API that we are in. As soon as we set the permission, and then we need to go and test it. That's the only way we can find out. So we take the API information plus the get a free API from there, and we paste it here. Now this is what we want to be the token for us, and this is how we access get free API. Let's go back to my apps, show again, copy it. Let's go here, paste it instead, and let's access it. The permission that we said we're not allowed to get from that API. So before we send the call to the last or the end destination, the API that we are accessing, we're not allowing the app to get information, but we still allow this app to post, update, patch, or delete. And that's with the permissions. Even update is put or update, both of them the same. So let's say like we want to access this one and we want to give the permission for this app to get the results. I want him to pass, but I don't want him to post. So let's say like I want to save it right now as no post but allowed to get. So if I go with the same token, if I get, I should be able to get the results from the last destination, which is what we got before. And this is the results that we got from the request directly. But it passed our permission, our management to get to there. And if we go without, just to test the results, is if they are the same, we just take off our token, get it free API token, and we test it, we should see the same results, that's exactly what we saw. Now, if we enable it and go back for our get free API URL, we should get the same results. And if we see post, it shouldn't send us to post. And that's before getting to the end source or the last API call, before we charge ourselves another money for getting a call and then let the API service decide if this is allowed or not. Our platform decides that for us. So if we go and get a post is not allowed, but we allow them to get only. On that security side, that this token would never allowed to go through it if we don't allow it. So let's go back. For right now, if we try post is not allowed. Let's go back and assign that post is allowed. And in that case, this token or this API, demo app, that we are deciding that we are going to use for different applications, mobile phones, or whatever app services that we're going to depend on the API, is allowed to post, which is right now we allowing it to go through. And this is where we get the results that it's allowed. So in that case, all what we need to worry about is our management system. So let's say like there's a new mobile app that we already accept only get. We don't want this app or this token authorized to post anything. This is where we decided. And even if we want to post and we're not allowing to get from that token, so just information for application forms and these forms going through APIs, we don't want them to get all the results of the forms if anybody got access to this token. We want them only to post that new form. So all what we need to do for this app is not allowed to get. And we save it, and the same spot, what we're getting from this results is this token is not allowed to access this proxy. So in general, right now the new features for Get Free API that allowed for separate applications, it's included for different proxies, for all internal and external proxies, based or not based on Get Free API. Thank you for listening and watching. Hopefully this is useful for organization or for you in person. Have a wonderful day. Sam Elayyoub. Bye-bye.